Happy Friday. As my friend Daniel, give him a little shout out because apparently he listens to these on Fridays. So he's like, "Oh, I like this Friday live thing you're doing. Is this tea with Tiff?" So I think I'm gonna coin it tea with Tiff. So if you're listening, if you hop on, Daniel, hello, happy Friday to all of you. So you probably saw the caption here, the title: "Refine Your Work Ethic and Love Your Burnt Toast." Let's talk about the burnt toast first. So my good friend Kelly, she's on Team Tiffany, and she's been one of my best friends since kindergarten. I was on the phone with her talking about our day. We were kind of brainstorming while I was driving, and I said, "Shoot, I forgot my purse at my house." And I'm like, "Well, I guess another 20 minutes wasted." And she's like, "Tiff, love your burnt toast." I'm like, "Wait a second, what are you talking about? Burnt toast theory?" So I knew there had to be something, some deep meaning to it. So I asked her, and she said, so basically, appreciate if you left the toast in the toaster too long and you burn it, because that means that you have to delay, you have to stay at your house a little bit longer and remake the toast again. So know that God, your angels, like maybe there was a reason for that delay. Maybe you got back on your sacred blueprint, or you got realigned on what you were supposed to be doing, or you avoided a car crash or something. So you're always where you should be in life, no matter what. So that's the burnt toast theory. And I actually just took a moment to like take a deep breath after I got off the phone with her, drove back, got my purse. And instead of being all pissed off for the day and like, "Oh my God, I just wasted 20 more minutes. I'm so scattered. Today was like a mad rush. My 3-year-old wouldn't put on his shoes and he didn't want to go to school. And it was just, and he never acts like that. So I had to come down on him pretty hard. And it was just a chaotic morning. So I kind of started off the day a little bit like ungrounded. So Kelly, as usual, thank you, Kel, got me regrounded. So appreciate whatever it is, whatever circumstances that's going on with you in your life. Always ask yourself, why is this happening to me? Is this a repetitive pattern? Am I always running late? Is this a one-off? The first step to solving a problem is, number one, is knowing where you're at. That awareness of being aware that there even is a problem, that there is a challenge. And then you want to ask yourself, like, what am I learning from this? So today, me forgetting my purse, delaying, complaining about it, that's not going to do me any good. Bob Proctor says in Science of Getting Rich book, he did a course on it in 2020, and I actually downloaded that book, which is a deeper dive and putting it in lamest terms for me of the early 1900s book by Walter. I should know the name of it, but it's The Science of Getting Rich if you're interested in it. But he always says, William Clement Stone apparently started this, and they all kind of spun off and took it. So William Clement Stone, no matter what, even if his house burnt down, he would say, "Well, that's good." And people are like, "What do you mean the house burnt down? You know, this is tragic." And he's like, "Because I get to build anew, because something bigger and better will come out of it." And you could either take one circumstance and look at the negative, or you can look at the positive. It's the same circumstance, and it's your choice on how you want to view it. So what the burnt toast theory is telling me is, hey, look at this as a good thing. That delay was a good thing. It gave me another extra 10, 15 minutes to ground and breathe and get out of that chaotic energy. So I didn't bring that into my day. So thank you, Kel, for that. Now, let's talk about your work ethic. This is a big one. So I always kind of ask myself, like, what do I want to share this week when I go live? And it was perfectly in line with what happened to me today, because I wasn't aware that I was in this chaotic energy. I wasn't aware that I was complaining out there, like, God, now I have to drive back to the house. I wasn't aware. So when you become aware of whatever it is that's going on, you can actually find ways to be more creative, be more grounded, be more productive. So let's talk about loan officers, because I'm a lender coach for lenders. So right now, you might think like, I work 12 hours a day. I just do all these things and I'm just so amazing. And interest rates are high, and realtors, they don't even have business to give to me. I drive around to every open house. I go to networking meetings. So you're working, burning yourself out. You're cold calling, you're chasing, and you feel like your work ethic is on point. Like you work 7 days a week, right? I did a podcast one time with a real estate agent, and I actually couldn't even air it because the lack of boundaries that he had for himself and his work, it just wasn't aligned with me. He said something like, you can call me, my clients, they know they can call me 24 hours a day. I don't care if it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll pick up the phone and I'm there. Talk about like starting as you mean to go on in this chaotic energy where people are just steamrolling through you. There's a better way to be more productive by time blocking. We're going to talk about a little bit of that stuff, but really paying attention to where you're at, bringing your awareness to what is my reality right now? Where am I at in my business? And what does my today look like? What did yesterday look like that I could tweak and that I can improve on? I used to think me sitting there trying to learn some new tech stuff, that was equaling more money. That was not a money-making activity. So if you think you're just burning out and you're just working, you really want to focus in on what challenges have you been through and be grateful for that. Burnt toast theory. So the delay in your business, the delay in whatever it is that's going on, be grateful for that because it's bringing you to this moment, bring you to the awareness of whatever I was doing wasn't working, or maybe it wasn't productive. And today you always want to ask yourself, what are your IPAs? Okay. No, it's not one of my favorite beers. So it is income producing activities. If you're sitting in front of your desk, let's talk about that example first. You're sitting in front of your desk and you're like, okay, I'm working. I sat in front of my desk all day and I answered emails all day. What was your income producing activity? What was the thing that was going to get you closest to generating more leads, to building a better relationship with a referral partner, whether it's a real estate agent or a CPA, a divorce attorney? Are you working off of your list? If you are driving around to open houses aimlessly and you have no tracking system, no follow-up system, you don't know who your realtor relationships are, and you're just hoping that some grandma's cousin's uncle's brother that sells one house a year is holding an open house and you're just touring, you're wasting your time. You want to go to the people that are your future friend. So one of my mentors, Greg Wingard, he said the other day, actually it was a few weeks ago now, Tiff, take away your dream 100, all the influencers that you follow on social media, that you aspire to be like, that you want to emulate, that you want on your podcast, that you would just run up to a conference and like jump up and hug them because they've changed your life so much. I want you to change it to future friend list. And it was like the light bulb went off. So I'm like, okay, I don't want business from these people. I don't want money from these people. I just want them to be my future friend. And then when you build that relationship in a focus group, so let's use for lenders, your favorite 25 real estate agents that you aspire to work with, be friends with, and you just want to build that relationship. If you take those 25 favorite real estate agents, whether you currently work with them, they're already your friend, or you plan on working with them, or you have worked with them in the past, but you didn't have a follow-up system. Take 2 days to actually line it out. And remember, survival of the fastest, it's the tortoise. Slow down to speed up. So it may feel like, okay, it's going to take me 2 days to write out this list. Like I have this right here that I give to my students. My favorite peeps here. It's 25 names, phone numbers, emails, and their social media. You want to make sure that you know that they're in your phone, that they're on your email list, that you follow them on social media. Hopefully they follow you back. And obviously you want to know their name. If you take those people and you every single week on only Monday, let's say it's your real estate agents. I have a plan for you for the rest of the week, but talk about Monday. You either send them a video text and it's always the same 25 people. Maybe you call and you follow up on leads and you give them an update on the real estate agents. They try to feed our family and we don't even update them on leads, let alone track it, right? If I'm talking to you, if you're a lender, you know that you're the type, maybe this is you, that doesn't track your lead, that doesn't ever call and follow up, and you certainly don't drip good value on them every single week in email sequences, right? So we'll talk about that in a second. So let's say that you have the focus group and it took you 2 days to build that out. Maybe it takes you 2 weeks to build it out. That is a money-making activity. When you start sending them on your focus list video texts, then maybe the next week you're calling and updating them on a lead. Maybe the next week you're just going and seeing like on their social media what they're up to. Do they have some listings in the neighborhood that you grew up in? Or maybe you just closed a borrower on a sweet loan, you got them a sweet deal, and now there's a house that's very similar in that neighborhood, and they got a temporary buy down, or they qualified for an FHA loan, or maybe that condo's, there's FHA approved condo, and you want to reach out and you want to say, hey, here's what I was able to do. So whatever that looks like, you take those same people and you focus on them. Now you've created a list and you're working that list. You're nurturing them and you're building relationships with them, whether they're your current friend or they're your future friend. So again, always think of them as a friend, but in your days on your Monday, after you finish working your pipeline, then that's what you do. You want to work your list. If you're sitting there in front of your computer saying, I have the best work ethic, I work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you could be wrong. There is no reason why you need to work 12 hours a day. So one of my students, I was talking to her last week and I had permission to share this. Obviously, I'm not saying her name, but she was saying, God, Tiff, I just burn out. I work 12 hours a day. It's hurting my relationships. I don't pay attention to my kids enough. And I said, well, I see you get your nails done, right? And she's like, yeah. I said, when do you get your nails done? She's like, I don't know, whenever they have an appointment available. I'm like, do you get your hair done? She's like, yeah. Where are you going with this? I'm like, all right. So when do you do it? Just whenever. I'm like, do you know that your brain takes at least 20 minutes to go back and refocus on what you were working on before you stepped away from the office? So 2 hours out of your day to leave, get in your car, go drive, get your nails done, sit there for an hour, come back. Maybe you sit in your warm car because you don't want to go back to whatever you're doing at the office, and you scroll endlessly on social media and you burn another 20 minutes. If you're doing that on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Thursday morning, you are killing your productivity. Your work ethic is not as good as you thought that it is. So I want you to take all of your appointments, whether you're male, female, whatever you got going on, your barber, your haircuts, your shopping, your things that you know that you have to do during the day because the kids are at school, or that's like your time where you feel like you're in it and you're most productive and your brain's ready to do the task. Set it for Fridays, maybe like Friday from 3 to 5 or something. So that's a way to improve your productivity and get yourself out of that lie that you're telling yourself that you're super productive. Tony Robbins has 111 businesses or something. Shark Tank. You look at these people that take on, I'm going to make you an offer of $100,000 for 30% equity share, right? How do they have all of these businesses in the same 24 hours as we do? Because there's something missing in our days. Remember, the compound effect. All you have to do is win for the day, and then you win for the week, and you keep consistently winning for the season, for the year, and for your future. But you have to be wildly aware of what you're doing in this moment. So are you driving around aimlessly at open houses? Are you cold calling? Are you managing a CRM? Or are you too afraid of that little bit of technology, right? So whatever it is in your business, I want you to analyze what today looks like for you. And I talk about this a lot because I had no clue how busy I thought I was before I embarked on this journey of launching a coaching business, getting a brick and mortar office. And I thought I was doing everything I needed to do in the day. I had no clue how productive I could be. I had no idea. When you learn as a loan officer, any business, when you learn one-to-many marketing and not just one-to-one where you're driving around, you're having coffees with people and you're burning through time trying to impact one person at a time, when you take that and you leverage social media platforms, emails, list building like this right now, I'm doing this on, I probably talked about this before, but I'm doing this on Restream.io. So it's going out to my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube, my other Facebook, my LinkedIn. It's everywhere. So one video that I'm doing for 15 or 20 minutes is going out to thousands, and I'm able to share a message to impact you, right? The more we serve, the more we communicate, the more we work our way up that monetization multiplier, because we're serving and we're giving more influence. So I can do one 15-minute video that I don't have to drive around. I don't have to go do anything. You do it on video, and hopefully, please put it in the comments if I'm impacting you, if I'm sharing something with you that's of value. So the more value that you give in a way where it's one to many, and you get rid of that cold calling, chasing, trendy marketing BS that other coaching programs at other places are telling you to do. Your branch manager telling you to pick up the phone. Like one of my students, it's bull. Okay. One of my students said, Tiff, I love what you're saying, because one of my other coaching programs I was in, he said we would literally all go on Zoom and we would put the phone on, put the Zoom on mute, and we would just sit there and smile and dial. Like, talk about needing a babysitter. That us as lenders, we have to go on a Zoom and we have to sit there and burn up the phone lines for a power hour because we don't know how to run Facebook ads, use AI to create email sequences, go and give value. If you go to a networking meeting, you're like, oh my God, I'm so busy in my work ethic. I go to networking meetings. I'm the treasurer of XYZ Realtor Association. Are you leveraging those relationships and giving value, or are you just managing the money? Are you actually showing up? Are you asking like, hey, do I have time where I can get booked on one of the stages? Can I do a speaking event? Can I show people how I'm solving a problem in our community where interest rates are high, inventory is low, home prices are still going up? I have the solution as a lender, and here's what I want to share. Are you leveraging those relationships, or are you just going through the motions? So I used to say the devil's in the details. We all know that saying. I'm starting to shift that to God and the magic is in the details. So those little shifts that you can make in your day where you move the big rocks, you push through the fear and anxiety, you find ways to be more productive by doing a video that thousands of people can potentially see, co-collaborating with a real estate agent that's on your dream list, your favorite group. Hey, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, you know I love you. I'm trying to make my presence on social media more known. Would you be willing to do a co-collab? And let's talk about what's going on in our zip code right now, what's going on in our market, and share information. What real estate agent that knows you, loves you, trusts you, why wouldn't they want to audience swap, OPA, other people's audiences? Now you're working your way up that monetization multiplier where you're actually impacting now not just 1,000 followers that you have potentially, but what if they have 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 connections? Now you're combining that and you're sharing a message. You're not saying buy my thing, apply for a loan, visit my website, call me with your mortgage needs. You actually are saying, if you want this outcome that we've been sharing for 15 minutes, for a half hour, then book a call. I'm dropping my link here for a free 30-minute discovery session. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you're a lender and you don't have a calendar link, you focus on your work ethic today and make that a priority where you go set up Calendly. You can download the Calendly app. Once you set everything up, you can create pre-purchase strategy session, free 30-minute discovery sessions. The list goes on of what you can do. You grab it on your phone app here, pull up my Calendly. And there's literally like a little copy link button here. Let me go to event types. You can see I have all my different event types. I can click on free 30-minute pre-purchase real estate wealth building. You copy a link and you put it in text, or you drop the link after your Facebook Live. You can use something like this, like Restream.io, where it blasts everywhere and you can put in the comments your calendar link. Or you go back in your social media and you add it to the comments on your different platforms, whatever works for you. But my point is here is set boundaries with yourself to make sure you're more productive. That equals chunking up bigger projects, time blocking, making sure that you move those big rocks every single day. Don't get your nails done. Don't get your hair done, except for Fridays between, noon and 2 or 3 to 5 at the end of the day. Joe Rogan always says he earns his weekends. So if he doesn't work hard enough, if he didn't reach his goals, if he didn't move his big challenges and rocks, if he didn't do something that made him a little bit uncomfortable or felt like it gave him a little bit of anxiety, he doesn't go have that beer on a Friday night in his hammock on whatever amazing house he's living in at the time. And there's literally an image of him in a hammock, but he's like, I earned that beer. I earned that right to go out and go do something. And that's how I like to live my weekdays. So make sure okay, so no open houses, okay? I'm just making sure I go through my checklist. Pay attention to the lies you're telling yourself about your productivity. And if something happens to you in your day, I want you to tell yourself a better story. I want you to tell yourself if you get delayed, if your prayers weren't answered, if You feel like, you know what, I lost that deal. Someone shopped me. I thought rates were going to be better by now. Whatever it is, like appreciate where you're at right now. Appreciate that delay, that unanswered prayer, because you never know where it's going to take you. So today, I want you to bring your awareness to what does my reality look like right now? And I'll leave you with this. So I'm reading, I already read Project 369, but there's a whole series of books. This one is The Key to Prosperity, Wealth, Consciousness. So everything is about your subconscious working against you and bringing it into consciousness and making sure that you're wildly aware of where you're at right now in your reality. So it said, your current position. It says, look around you. Do you like your current position, your job, your home, your surroundings, your life? If you do, then you're in luck. You can use that evidence of your physical reality to work in your favor and reaffirm that you're already living the life of your desire. AKA, this like screams gratitude. Be grateful for where you're at. Now, if you don't like your current position, still be grateful for it, because once you take your attention away from your evidence of your physical reality and you put it on the evidence of your imagination, so AKA like bring in awareness that, you know what, I'm never behind, I'm right where I should be, but now that I'm becoming aware that I'm stuck in this pattern, I don't like my current reality, I'm going to use my imagination of what's possible to make change. So because imagination creates reality and everything you're experiencing is the cause of your imaginal activity. So now be careful. I just did a podcast on this last week. Be careful that you don't fall into the dreamer category where you're just dreaming. You're like, all right, I'm here right now. I'm in this reality. Okay, I'm aware that I created this, but one day I'm going to snap out of this. One day I'm going to have $1 million in the bank. One day I'm going to be a top producer. One day I'm going to close 20 loans a month. One day I'm going to tackle that CRM and I'm going to master it. You got to become a doer also. So if you imagine it and you become aware of what's possible, fabulous. But if you don't do anything about it and you're just stuck on that hamster wheel, then you don't have the work ethic that you thought that you did. So be aware of where you're at today. Go move those big rocks. Move through that anxiety and fear. Believe in yourself. Tell yourself those positive affirmations. And I hope this was helpful for you today. Please comment below wherever you are, whatever platform you're watching this on. Share your story. Share what your aha moment was during this live. And I hope that I brought awareness to you today on the things that are possible in your current reality that you can change and shift to make more money, be more productive, close more loans, work through that anxiety and fear, and move mountains for yourself and support your big why. Your future self will thank you for it. Thanks for watching.